Hello everybody, double hello everybody, and welcome back to some Biomes Exiles. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with this episode. So because I'm a little bit poorly, and therefore coughing and sneezing is a problem with my daily life, I am going to perform a building episode where I'm going to build something particularly epic that's going to take me probably a day or two of real time maybe, and record snippets of it, and then I can record post-commentary to explain the snippets, and I'd only have to record and talk for like 10, 15, 20 seconds at a time. Something which I think I can manage at the moment. I can already feel my first cough coming on. So without further ado, I am going to be building a village farmer golem iron farm. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to start by raising it off the ground. You could build it at ground level, but I want the actual sort of killing floor and sort of collection area for the villagers to be on the ground floor, making it easier to transport them across to my actual village. So starting by raising everything up on logs, because it's a jungle biome and obviously you're going to make it out of logs. It looks fantastic. It's going to be quite a resource heavy build, so there's going to be quite a lot going on. Creating a platform ready for us to build up onto. There is going to be some nice, hopefully, background music into this, which I'll phase in and out of when I'm not talking, so you don't feel like, you have to listen to my voice at all times. Now that I've got the starting point of the platform, I am going to use some ingenious laddering to get up here more easily, because I'm going to keep falling off because I'm not the best shift clicker in the whole world, but actually it's going quite well. Once I've got the platform built, I now need to fill it in. So I'm going to go with a kind of jungle wood / stone brick effect for this construction. I've got to fill this whole floor in all the way, leaving just a sort of 2x2 hole in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to need to raise the walls a little bit. I'm going to stick with the logs in the corners, but I might, in order to save a bit of resources, use a few other things. There's definitely going to be some sort of planks and some glass used, because otherwise I'm just going to have to kill so many trees. Okay, so once we've got a couple of layers of that, we're going to put some glass in. So the front facing towards my kind of house is going to be like a pure glass window, but realistically, to save resources, I'm not going to do that all the way around. What I'll probably end up doing on the sides is like a layer of planks, a layer of glass, and a layer of planks again. So we can still see in, but it's just not quite as glass intensive. Now that we're inside, the next thing that we need to do is we need to start building up the internal layer. So we need to create a series of platforms. In this case, we're just leaving a 2 gap in the middle, covering everything else in the 4 sort of corners, so that we end up with sort of 4 raised platforms. Then we need to do a second level, leaving a 1 wide gap all the way around the edges. This is eventually going to be the water channels where the baby villagers will fall and obviously slowly work their way down to the collection. Now that we have the 4 corners all sort up, we need to start adding dirt. I didn't remember to record the start of this, but you've got some middle sort of dirting on the go here. So basically we just fill it all in with dirt, and we're going to create some 2 sort of wide bridges, leaving a 2 wide gap. And this is just from the video that I will link in the description that I used to create this spawner, to just create hopefully another area where they can fall by using the trapdoors like so. Now trapdoors are going to have to go all the way around the edge, and they want to be on the top and low raised down, or lowered down, however you would describe it. And so being as it started as a 20 by 20 kind of wall, and we've only come in 2 blocks, that's an 18 by 18. Then we've got the very tedious process of adding all of the water. Now I initially started doing this by dropping 1 bucket and then going down through the holes to get another bucket and so on, until I realised I could just build an infinite water source up here, use it to fill in all the water, and then once I'd done that, just fill it in with dirt again. The lily pads on the water, in case you haven't realised, are to stop the stop villagers falling in. Next, we had to put some glass in to cover over the drop points so that anything that's less than 1 block or anything that's 2 blocks high won't be able to fall through. Then we need to throw some light over these drop pots, again so that the actual villagers that are in here don't fall down. Got a few selective other spots in the wall to put them so that basically they cover the light across the whole area to stop anything untoward spawning. Luckily it lines up with the lily pad, so that was quite helpful and easy. And that means that hopefully once we've done that, there shouldn't be any concerns. So here we have a nice panoramic from the help, or with the help of Milan, one of the other players who recorded this for me. So you may notice that the initial villager has changed a little bit to the one that's actually being used now. But, you know, set sail, nice musical change. I'll leave this panoramic. And there we have it, villagers supplied. So I initially created a sort of corner where I fenced it off and I set up 2 villages. I think I actually transported 4 villages, and my plan was hopefully when we get up to the point of having the doors added in, etc., they would start to breed, and that would mean that I could fill up that area, as they fall down, with a few more villages. So realistically I'd probably want, you know, an even reasonable number of them for breeding purposes, and at least 1 farmer. Ideally, I think I ended up getting to the point where I had 3 villagers that could do farming before I got bored of waiting, so that they can obviously harvest the carrots and encourage the rest of the breeding to take place. So they need to cover over this whole area, making sure that basically we fill it in above the glass. Then on top of that, this is where we're going to create the iron golem spawn points. So this is a series of basically of 3 high or 4 high, I can't remember if it's 3 high or 4, I think it's probably 3 high area, which we will then need to fill with water. On the top of this we had the doors, so 4 doors in each corner. At the moment we were not going to be able to finish the final corner because that's where our villager transport system is, and I did this before, as I said, I had all the villagers I wanted, so I could keep bringing more if I found and converted them. So all of my villagers up until they start spawning were caught and then transported zombie villagers after they'd been healed. So it was a lot of work. I think I burnt through 15 or so golden apples to get the right villagers, because eventually I stopped bringing things that I didn't want because I knew I didn't have enough farmers. I was just basically waiting. Here you can see the semi-finished product. So I've got a zombie, I just keep saying zombie villager. I've got a zombie protection with the magma around the edge. I've got a series of pods that contain villagers up on the same level as the doors, so that should encourage and discourage the spawning of the golems, but also at the same time allow me to set up, using these dispensers, a water ladder where I can send a villager up and down. And the idea behind that, here you go, you can see the final product, is that if I send him up there, so he sits at the top, that turns off the villager breeding part of this build, leaving just the golems, and basically we can decide when we need more villagers, we can turn them on. So when I'm in the mood to sort a few of them out and maybe try and find some really good trades and take them over to my actual village, I can turn it on. And when I just want it to just in the background deal with spawning golems and killing them, I can turn it off. Hope you've enjoyed and found it interesting. I'm sorry it's not the perfect episode, but bye for now.